Hey everybody, it's John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, grabbing the Discouraging Finish achievement. This is to do every single character's Astral Finish. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to beat every single character's arcade mode. So make sure you do that, and that way you unlock their Astral Finish. Then you want to go into your options, make sure you set the round count to 1 and set the time to infinite. Hop into a versus game, 2 controllers. We will be starting up in the upper right and then working our way around. We're going to use Hakuna. Make sure you use the unlimited version of him, which you select by pitting left bumper over his character. Alright, what an Astral Finish is this game's version of the Fatality or Ultra combo. So pretty much it's your finishing move. So to do it, you need to have 100% heat, or in Hakumen's case, you need to have 100% infinity, and then your opponent needs to have 20% or less of their health. Then you need to do a special criteria depending on your character. So we're going to start off with Hakumen here, and his criteria is his Astral Finish has to be a counter. So we're going to throw in an attack using the second controller, and then we're going to counter and then do the Astral Finish. Now, an Astral Finish is done by just hitting down on the right stick, since it's mapped to the stick as a shortcut, just like all your other special moves. It should say Astral Finish when you're done, and it's pretty much unblockable, and will always win you the match. So you get an achievement for doing your first one for a 10 gamer score called It's Go Time. Then we're going to switch over to Bang, and the rest of these characters have heat, so what you want to do is you want to build up your heat. You should already know how to do this. You get heat by attacking or getting attacked. Build it up to 100% and then weaken your opponent to below 20%. To do his, you need to be in mid-air, and then he should shoot out a nail, and then your opponent needs to make contact with that nail. Moving on to Hakuna, this guy's has to be done in midair too, so he's going to turn into this giant eyeball. Make sure you touch the eyeball with your second controller, and then you should be good on that. Now we're going to move on to Carl. He has his puppet called Nirvana. What you need to do is you need to make sure your opponent is next to Nirvana, and then he should throw up a little countdown. Once the countdown goes off, make sure the second controller is by the puppet thing, and that should land the Astral Finish as well. Alright, moving on to Rachel. For her, you need to be next to your opponent, so get about this close and then throw it off. Once again, it's always down on the right stick in case you forget. The only thing you need to remember is each character's Astral Finish positioning. Most of them are going to be a specific distance away from your opponent's character, so it's just like fatalities in Mortal Kombat. But some of them need special conditions, obviously, like Carl's puppet or Lychee, who has the rod, which we'll point out when that comes. But half the characters have pretty much simple stuff. Like you have Jin's, who's also close by, and then you have Ragna's, who same thing, just be next to your opponent and just let it go, and you should land it. And then we can move on to the next person, and we're going to go to Noel. Noel's is going to be grab distance, which is a little bit further away than next to the opponents. However, it's still really close by, so don't get those two confused. If you're too close, you'll miss sometimes, so just be within grabbing distance, whatever that means. I'm pretty sure there's a specific distance. I could never figure it out. I pretty much just stood close. Tokaka's is weird. You need to be far away, but not too far away. So if you're too far away, you'll miss. So this one might take you a couple tries to figure out where exactly to stand. But the most complicated one is Lychee's. So with hers, you need to make sure you de-equip your rod by hitting the A button. Then you need to hit down on the right stick to jump on top of the rod, and then hit down on the right stick one more time to throw out to the combo. Your opponent needs to be close to the rod, about grab distance, I would say, and then you should be able to land it, no problem. But hers is probably the most complicated since there's multiple steps. At least Iron Tager here, it's back to grab distance, which once again is about this close, and just throw it off, and you should be good with him. His actually takes a very long time to go through the whole animation. It's like seismic toss from Pokemon. You gotta go around the earth and then slam back down. And then finally we are going to use V13, and this is our final one. Once you do its Astral Finish, you should get your achievement. So it's going to be grab distance once again. This one's another very long animation, but there you go. It goes all Ghost in the Shell anime style and crashes a giant sword down. And there's the achievement, 30 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.